Welcome back to my channel. You join me here at Enigma Lakes, which is located near Malton, North Yorkshire. It's a place I've been keeping an eye on. The current owners have been renovating it and turning the place around. They've been doing regular updates to all the social media, and yeah, I just had to give it a go. They've done a really good job. So it doesn't disappoint. I've had a walk around on arrival today and it's quite busy today. I think it's full, but they don't book out every single swim. They always keep 2 swims free around the lake, so you can move if you wish to. And yeah, it's amazing. I've just met the owners, had a little chat to them, and I've told them what everyone else is saying, that they've done a really good job, and I wish them the best of luck. A special thank you to Tom and Ryan, the owners of Enigma, letting me use the drone, capture some amazing footage of some of the fish basking in the sun. So Enigma Lake, several years ago this place used to be called Carp Doubles. However, they've kept the name this lake as the Vale. It's approximately 3.5 acres in size, consists of around 200 carp, and they're ranging in size, I believe, from around £10 all the way to £30. There's a mixture of different types of carp in here. There are some koi carp and ghost carp, as well as the usual mirrors and commons.
In the quiet of the dawn, a whisper calls my name, chasing shadows on the run, playing a familiar day, but a spark inside the brain pushes on the blood away. Feel it taking over now, current pulling me. We rise up from the ground, limitless, we're free. Hear the sound alive and breaking through the night. This is our time to fly. This energy. Every heartbeat, every breath, a brand new star ignites, moving past the fear of death, reaching for the endless night. We rise up from the ground. We're limitless, we're free. Hear the sound alive and breaking through the night. This
So I apologise now for the lack of content that's been going on my channel. I've genuinely not been fishing since last summer. Last year wasn't a good year for me for various reasons, but the main reason was I done a lot of fishing earlier in the year, which was the footage that I put on from Norton Disney, and I kind of lost a little bit of interest in fishing. I done around 9 nights on the bank in the toughest of months, January, February, to no fish, and yeah, it just put a bit of a damper on the whole carp fishing scene for me. So I didn't go pretty much at all. I did give the approach, which is near Leeds, a go back in around June time last year, and when I arrived the carp were on the surface following each other, starting to nudge each other, and there was only one thing on their mind, and it wasn't feeding. So unfortunately it was a bit of a wasted trip, and that's it. That's all I've done. I had issues with my van, and that's as much as I can talk about that. I now don't own the van. It was one thing after another and a lot of money wasted. So I'm now back on my feet. I've got a car, I've got more access to be able to go out fishing. So all being well, this year is going to be a good year. So I currently have this session booked. I'm got around 40 hours worth of fishing in front of me. It's Wednesday afternoon now. I'm going to be off first thing Friday morning. I have another 48 hour booked for Tees Valley Lakes in a couple of weeks time, and then I'm back here in early May. I've actually booked a weekend, and yeah, things are looking good. So tactics wise on this trip, I told myself before I arrived I was going to keep things really simple on this session. Just be grateful and thankful to be back on the bank, and I'm just going to be using the 2 rods, which is a 2 rod rule on here, and solid bags, and I'm just going to keep roaming around, seeing if I can locate them, just keep dropping the bags in different areas, and just see what happens really. I have already had 1 cast on each rod and brought them in, and after they'd been out for an hour and a half, when I was winding them in, there was some silkweed on the hook. So I'm not sure if where I was fishing earlier, if that's just a bit of a bad area for the silkweed. So I've got them in 2 different areas now. But yeah, basically I'm just planning on bringing them in every couple of hours, putting them out in different areas, and just doing that really. Nothing too serious on this session. Left my marker rod at home, left my spawn rod at home. Just get a feel for the place, and just, like I say, keep it simple and keep throwing some solid bags around. I am actually using the bait boat for putting my solid bags out, so I wanted to keep the water free from disruption as much as possible, rather than be casting bags out every couple of hours. So yeah, bait boat is going to be putting out my bags every couple of hours, keep things nice and quiet, and try not to disturb any fish that might be in the area. So on this session I am using the Crayfish Heavy Bag Mix by DNA. That fills the bottom half of the solid bag, and then I'm using the Crayfish Mini Mix to fill the rest of the solid bag, and then I'm using the S7 Dumble Wafter as a hook bait. Nice and simple. Okay, well it was an uneventful night for myself. There was a few fish caught further down the lake, down this end over there. So I've since found out that I'm currently in the shallow end and the deeper end is over that end. But yeah, there was a few fish during the night landed for those down there, and all very quiet up this end. I had my right hand rod, there was a water inlet in this margin. I had that about a rod length off the margin, and my left hand rod was over by the overhanging tree over there. Same again, about 8 feet, 10 feet off the bank. All very quiet, so I've not seen much this morning. There was a couple of shows first thing, sort of in between me and the island. So my right hand rod at the moment is 3/4 of the way across to the corner of the island, in line with that tree. I'm looking at the wrong tree, that tree there, in line with there, and my left hand rod is currently towards the end of my boundary, about a rod length off from that margin there at the moment. Still moving that rod around, and I'm going to be bringing them both in shortly. They've both been out for a couple of hours now. Probably going to stick to that island for my right hand rod, maybe get it a bit closer. My left hand rod, no idea. Probably going to put it out in open water, maybe aim towards there, something like that. So yeah, just keep moving that left one around. And fingers crossed, the temperature's dropped a bit today. It's actually quite chilly. It's probably about 10 degrees, where yesterday at this time it was probably about 17 degrees. So yeah, it's feeling a bit cold compared to yesterday, but hopefully that'll be better feeding conditions for the fish. So I'll keep my fingers crossed that we get into something today, and I'll update you as and when. So I managed to get one. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I managed to get a 16-pound nice scaly mirror. Got big apple slice scales on it. I've just tret its mouth, and there we go. Nice 16-pounder. Fought really well. The young fish. Got plenty of room for growth on this one. But yeah, over the moon to get one. There we go. I'll get a quick picture and put this back. Okay, it's coming up to 7 o'clock now. There's starting to show quite a bit in this corner here to my left. Not very far out at all. Put my finger on the screen. Say they're showing like around this area here. So, I'm trying to make my mind up what to do. I've currently got 2 rods out in the open water, sort of opposite the island here. Well, in the region of this island, literally on the corner. If you go out there, I'd say my right hand rod's about there and my left hand rod is about there, and that is where I caught that carp from a couple of hours ago, from around there. So it came from open water, so I'm wondering if I should maybe just have that rod as my right hand rod and have one over here where they've been shown the last half hour or so. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just going to keep an eye out and see if they carry on showing. If they carry on showing, I'm going to bring both of them in and refresh them. Get one out on the spot where I caught one earlier, and get one just sort of in open water to my left here. And see what the night brings. But then I am also tempted to keep them both out there, you know, in the open water out there, because there's a bit less silkweed out there than what there is closer in. It's quite clean out there. So, oh, there was a little show there. So yeah, they're just doing little subtle shows at the moment. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to bring them in and just redo this. I'm going to stick to what my original idea was. Put one back out on that spot where I caught, and just flick one out here for the night. If I get anything else, there is a small show there. If I get anything else, it's a bonus. I'm happy. Managed to get one on the bank. It's Thursday night and the bank is quieter than it has been since I arrived yesterday morning. I think it'll be fully booked tomorrow when it's Friday, so. But yeah, tonight there is quite a lot of available swims. Not that I'm planning on moving. Far too lazy for that. So yeah. Decisions. Well, good morning. it was a quiet night. I decided to leave my rods out in the clearer area. So one was on the spot where I caught that carp, and then the other one was not far to the right of it. So yeah, I decided to ignore the few subtle shows, because where they were showing, I'm aware that there is you know, a fair bit of silkweed kicking about, and I had more confidence fishing in the clearer area. And with it being the open water, there would be carp milling around and passing through. So yeah, I went with the safe option. It didn't pay off. Very quiet night, but never mind. It's now coming up for 6 o'clock. The ticket runs till 8. Got to be off for 8. However, I've got some things on today, and it was my wedding anniversary yesterday, so I'm going to head home early. So I'm going to start getting packed up now. Probably be out of here by 7. But thanks very much for watching. Thanks for Tom and Ryan for speaking to me, giving me some advice, and also for allowing me to fly the drone and get some epic drone footage. I'll be back here next month, and I'm looking forward to it.